Give me the argument, the best argument you know, for the power of cinema.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
And welcome everybody to the show. It's Peliculas with the Bros. My name is Adrian.
My name is Ivan.
And Peliculas with the Bros is a podcast, a show where me and my brother discuss movies. Each week we discuss a new movie. And that's what the show's about. Peliculas with the Bros. If you like podcasts, about movies, if you like podcasts about movie reviews, you're in the right place. We usually do the newest and latest movies.
Mm-hmm.
But that's that. And if you like to watch us more, if you like to listen to us, you can find us on all podcast platforms: Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Deezer, all those kind of podcast platforms. We're there. We're also on YouTube. Look us up. Peliculas with the Bros. Hit that like button. Subscribe. We come with fresh content every week. Ivan, this week we're gonna get into it, right?
Indeed.
We are gonna We're gonna open the hatch to our storage bunkers. We're gonna gather the essentials,
Ching, ting, ting.
and we're gonna bunker in.
Kunk.
Because we're gonna watch a movie called.
Don't Look Up.
That's right. Don't Look Up. Quick question: what are the 5 things you're gonna take into a storage bunker that you have to live in for 1 year?
5 books. No.
You die.
Can I get like a Kindle with many books?
Yes.
A Kindle with many books.
Okay.
Mad Men, the complete series on that Kindle too. Dang, I don't need the 4. Just give me that.
You need water.
Oh. Okay, water, food.
Okay, I like
Kindle
it.
with Mad Men and a library.
Nice.
Um,
Canned beans or canned corn?
beans.
What is the most
Refried.
nutritious food you can eat that's storageable?
I heard, I don't know about storageable, but you could live off potatoes and butter for like your whole life. Like just that.
I want to see the type of person that comes out of that.
Like,
What about scurvy and all that kind of stuff?
I heard potatoes and butter.
Like it has all the vitamins and minerals you need?
Can't be wrong.
Jesus Christ, that's disgusting. I'll try it one day. One day though, not 1 year.
Oh.
Ivan, what movie are we doing today?
Don't Look Up.
That's right. Don't Look Up. The premise of Don't Look Up. The world is ending. A teacher and his student discover a world killer, an asteroid that will annihilate mankind, and it's headed right towards Earth. They reach out to the powers that be at NASA, and when they tell the POTUS of Earth's impending fate, their discovery becomes just another topic to support the POTUS in the polls. Will the astronomers be able to convince the president and the public that Earth is nearing its doom? With a cast of Leonardo Dicaprio as Dr. Rando Mindy, Jennifer Lawrence as Kate DiBiase? Yeah, Kate DiBiase. I like that. Rob Morgan as Toddy. Something's wrong with my vocal inflections.
Ma.
There it is. Dr. Teddy Oglethorpe. Kate Blanchett as Brie Eventry. Meryl Streep as Janie Orlean. Jonah Hill as Jason Orlean. Mark Rylance, my boy, Peter Urschwell. The cast goes on. We could talk about them later. Timothée Chalamet, Tyler Perry, Ron Perlman, Ariana Grande, Scott Muscudi. You know the Scott Muscuddier? He is kind of poopy now, right?
Yep.
Anyways. Ivan, Don't Look Up. This movie is directed by Adam Mckay.
One and only.
The one and only. Here on Peliculas with the Bros, we did a mini-series on Adam Mckay. So if you're into that kind of stuff, take a look at the backlog. Refresh yourself. Have fun.
Calm down.
I know. Sorry. Ivan, like I said, we did a mini-series on Adam Mckay. What have we learned from the McKayster?
It's getting a little more political.
That's correct. We've done all of his movies, his first batch of films were comedic films. Anchorman 2, Step Brothers,
Talladega Nights.
the one that you love, that we love,
Other guys.
And then he goes and makes a movie about the housing crisis. He makes a movie about the ex-vice president, and he makes this film, Don't Look Up. Ivan, this film comes from Mckay wanting to make a film about sort of the state of the world as it relates to how we handle with the climate crisis, climate change that's currently happening.
Yep.
And he sort of satirizes it, right? Going into this film, Don't Look Up, were you excited when you first heard about this?
Yeah.
I feel like we first heard about it when we were doing the miniseries.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was kind of excited too, because it's like we're sort of discovering this director as sort of an auteur in his own sense. And then you're like, oh, this guy's actually really, really good. And then you also realize he's going to come out with a new banger soon. And it's starring Leo, Jenny, Laurie,
Timmy, Shiley.
and we got pumped. Where'd you watch it?
AMC My House.
AMC My House. I like that. There used to be this so wrestling used to have pay-per-views, right?
Okay.
WrestleMania, SummerSlam. And then they had this pay-per-view called In Your House. And the graphic was like a stupid In Your House. It was like in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
You know how 90s stuff looked like? Nickelodeon. Think of Nickelodeon and think of In Your House now. And you have it correctly in your head. I don't know why I'm saying this, but In Your House. You watched it in your house. Okay.
Okay.
I watched it in my house too. I watched it about 3 weeks ago. Like, I think I watched it on Christmas Eve.
I watched it like a couple days before.
So
I
this
watched it like a day after it came out. So
right. This movie's been on Netflix for a couple weeks now.
Yep.
We're just talking about it now because we've been busy with our catalog of movies that we need to dissect.
Indeed.
But we saw it and we're like, we can't forget the Mckay star.
Yep.
Mckay needs his own little film.
Yep.
After watching the movie, what'd you feel? What'd you think about it?
It was good.
Ah, yeah.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
I'm a little late.
Yeah.
But no,
Oh.
shut up. For once, let me talk. I'm coming into finally accepting like my own taste.
Yes.
Not that I'm like the biggest. Ooh, they like it. I like it now. I wasn't really like that, but I wasn't super confident in knowing like was that good or was that not good.
Mm-hmm.
And now like movies, music, games, whatever, I'm like that was good for these reasons. That was bad for these reasons. Like
yeah.
I could find that middle ground for whatever.
Yeah.
And this one was like, that was good. And then I see people like, that was so obvious. That was stupid. Like, it's more than that, you know?
I honestly didn't see. The only negative reviews I saw were on Wikipedia because like they have their critical analysis section on that. But I haven't heard too much negativity surrounding the movie. But then again, I am like looking at it a little bit later than when it first came out. From where you heard that, where'd you hear that more so than anywhere? Like, did you hear that God said that it's a bad movie?
It sucked.
Was it just like Twitter or what?
Twitter, just random review sites. I like look through like, not really like just this person said this person said this, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, it's interesting because it's not a bad movie. It's a good movie. I think, so to start, the movie's a satire.
Yeah.
And it's about sort of what would, I don't know if it's a satire per se, because like,
It would happen.
yeah, because it does feel true to life. Even though it is a black comedy, it is a satire, none of the things that happen seem too ridiculous.
I think it's a satire that just because it's not directly speaking on climate change, so that technically makes it a satire.
Right. That it's, yeah.
If not, it would just be a black comedy.
Yeah. And I do really like how there is so much realness in the movie from like a couple of the characters. But then as the characters progress, as the astronomers who are played by Leo and Jennifer Lawrence, as they progress and try to help Earth not destroy itself, they're introduced into ridiculous situations with ridiculous characters who do ridiculous things. And even though they're doing these crazy things, like I said, their counterparts do exist in real life.
Yeah.
The crazy news anchors that just want the latest scoop, who care about the latest scoop.
Yep.
The politicians who see negative news as a way to benefit themselves. Yep. The entrepreneurs who see money at every possible scenario.
Yep.
They all exist, and they're all in this movie. To your point of negative reviews, I did see someone said, I don't know who the hell it was. They said that this movie is like too preachy. That obviously I think the reviewer's thinking like, obviously if there's a missile or an asteroid headed towards Earth, we wouldn't act this way. Like we don't need this. We don't need McKay to tell us, to show us how dumb we are. We're not this dumb.
But there is technically like an asteroid coming towards us with climate change. And
right.
We're doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a lot slower and you can't see it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, 50 years away. We're gonna die. Something like that.
Yeah, and there is that idea of like when Jennifer Lawrence is screaming, "We're all gonna die, and you're not doing anything about it." Like, there is a guy or a girl that said that before, a scientist, you know? Like, don't you realize we're all going straight to hell for this?
Yeah.
Maybe not in your lifetime, but in like 2 lifetimes or 3 lifetimes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally telling you it's gonna happen, but you're not doing anything about it.
Yep.
Oh, man. But I do think it takes a major, like, it needs to affect my life for me to do something. Unfortunately.
Oh God.
That's how like society looks. No, not me. Like society dictates like only if we're gonna die.
Yeah.
Then it matters.
They don't see like ahead.
Yeah. Like sometimes I think about the things that Elon's trying to do, like go to space, and I'm like, that is an amazing thing to do for humanity, you know? Like he wants to go to Mars and establish something over there, even though he knows it won't be in his lifetime.
Something.
Right. And that in itself is very like well intentioned. Like if it's so hard for someone to do something that isn't for them directly.
Yes.
And yes, he's making billions.
There it is.
Oh, damn it. I caught myself. But I guess it's like once to that regard, like if you're making billions, it's easy to do other stuff to help people, you know?
That's like a whole topic on itself. Like the morality and what their intentions are.
Right.
And like what billionaires can actually do, what we can actually do.
Right. But like to the point of how can we stop the impending doom of Earth? Well, we could do a lot of things, but most of us won't do anything because it's not directly affecting us right now.
Mm-hmm.
But to think that most likely that the situation that's happening in this movie could happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like it's not. It could happen.
Hey.
Sorry, my emotion got to me. It could happen.
Yeah.
And people aren't realizing that.
Yeah.
Like that's also a thing that I like about the Joe Rogan podcast, where he's like, he always talks about this, and it actually opened my eyes to it too, where it's like everything's fine right now, but things have been not fine before.
Yeah.
You just haven't lived through that.
Right.
And
Like we could get hit by a Great Depression times 2 in like 5 years.
yeah.
But we won't, because we haven't ever experienced anything like that. We're gonna expect to be okay for the next lifetime.
Yeah.
We could legit die right now.
Yeah, we could just walk outside and get hit by a car.
Yeah.
I also thought about this too, and I'm thinking about it more recently, where you see like the U.S. slipping and China coming up, and I do see like people nowadays don't really take into account that America could die, and maybe not die, but like become the United Kingdom, where they're just like second fiddle to everyone. Like we could become second fiddle to Russia and China, but people don't see it that way. They're like, no, USA will always be on top. But we're looking at like 300 years of dominance. Like the universe is 5 billion years long. We have a long time to fail.
Yeah.
And it could happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just find that kind of stuff very interesting. The idea of the things that don't affect me right now don't matter at all.
Quote?
Yeah. No, that's how people think. Damn it.
I'm trying to paint you in a different light.
I see the painting on the wall. Trying to get an eraser. How do you erase paint?
Isn't like alcohol?
Oh.
That's kind of deep in a way. How do you erase paint? Alcohol.
That sounds like a Kanye line.
Yeah.
But he'll say it so straight, and he'll be like,
how do you release paint? Alcohol.
whatever. But
Imagine Leo on Succession. That's something. God. That would be amazing.
But would it be? Because, like, it almost goes to, like, what's actors' stats?
What do you mean stats?
Or like like stats or like ratings. Like Leo, 9 out of 10 as like performative acting. Comedic skills, 5 out of 10.
I think he would just play himself, but like super hyped up, like an actor. Because he is kind of like a philanthropist with like...
Definitely, yeah.
Whatever he does. So you could play that up too.
Yeah.
Make it a little self-aware actor. I don't know.
That is one of the reasons he took this film. Because he's so like...
Philanthropic.
Yeah, he's so about the climate crisis and Earth's... What is that about him? Like, to me, something's off there.
Alright. I don't know about that.
You don't think so? Every time he talks about the climate, I'm just like, the devil has your number and you're doing this for a reason.
But it's for a good cause. Like, no matter how you feel, if it's for a good thing, I wouldn't care.
You sure? No matter what, no, it's like, goes back to Keanu. What is he atoning for?
The fact that he knows we're gonna die. People are dying.
I don't know. I just wish I wish Leo, because there's this Leo in my head that's like womanizer, like playboy, which I know he is. So I want to see that part of his lifestyle more than the philanthropic side of his.
I think it's because Keanu, like if they're doing the same thing, Keanu is just naturally shy and he doesn't want to be like, I'm doing this. But Leo, he has like that ego no matter what he does. So he's going to be like, climate change, you know? And it's just their personality. Like no matter, Leo's incapable of being silent about what he's doing, no matter how good.
Right.
I don't think that's a bad thing. It just, if anything, leaves a bad taste.
I agree with that.
If you were a millionaire, billionaire, and you were going to be a philanthropist too, would you be completely quiet, you think?
No. I think... No, I wouldn't be quiet. I would be very annoying. No, I don't know how I'd do it. I'd definitely talk about it. Because I think the reason I would talk about it is to bring awareness to it.
Right.
But I think a lot of people, including Leo, don't bring awareness the right way. I don't know, cause like Leo, honestly, I don't even know one thing Leo has said really, cause I just tune him out when he talks about the climate.
So you're kind of biased, and you have no authority on this.
Don't roll your eyes 5 times when you say that. I don't know. I think I would like, if I was Leo. Why am I saying if I'm Leo? That's not even the question, but
I mean, it doesn't matter.
I think it helps me frame this question. If I was Leo, I would make like a documentary that I would like hold the camera and be like, I would go up to people like, why is this like this?
I am Leo. Why is this?
Yeah.
But I don't even know if that would like, even that would feel like he's trying to do it for his ego.
Right.
I think.
But the reason I say that is because I feel that helps, like, oh, Leo's actually putting in some groundwork. He's in the trenches.
New York City, the trenches. Shut up. I think, like, if, like, you could either say nothing at all, or anything you say would be kind of to serve your ego in a way. Because I don't know how Keanu went about it, but he just gave the money. Maybe someone else said, hey, look, he did this and brought it to the news or whatever, right? But if you have to talk about it, how do you not bring in yourself?
Right.
You can't be like, because you're using yourself as like the thing. So you kind of, people want to see you. So you have to be whatever they see, right?
Right.
That they want to see Leo.
Right.
They don't want to see that dude who's just a nerd.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, it's like I was just thinking in my head, maybe I'll just start a foundation. Like if I'm a ultra billionaire.
Boo.
Start a foundation, the Adrian Frasco Foundation, that helps XYZ.
What a name. The ego.
And then I was like, if I do that, the reason I'm doing that is because I want to hire the best people, really get in the trenches, really help, have a foundation that does something and prove that we do something and blah, blah, blah. But that's a job in itself, you know?
Yeah.
Like then I'm not a filmmaker, a artist anymore.
Ballet dancer.
Yeah, I'm not a ballet dancer. It's the thing I always dreamed of since I was a little kid, girl. I would be this CEO of this organization. That's not what I want. I just want to hire I want to do good.
Without the work.
Right. Here's $100 million. Spend it the best way you can.
But I think to do good in your way would be like, let's say you want to be the filmmaker. You would make the Don't Look Up for you.
Yes.
It would still be true to your art or whatever.
Right.
But like, let's say if my dream was like, I want to be a CEO of a company, and that's like my artistic goal.
Right.
Because you could be artistic in some way in that. So then my goal would be to be CEO of something that helps humanity, which would be the foundation. And I would like being CEO. So I think it's just finding out your way to contribute.
Right. I do think that, like, to your point of this is McKay's way of helping society.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it's that beneficial.
Like, will this be just like a bloop and back to...
Well, I know it's going to always be blooping back to, but the idea is like it should affect someone and change someone's life, right? Like the idea is like as one person changes.
Well, it's like I don't remember the effect name, but like one person has changed and he does better work. Another person is just like this web of change.
Right.
So we won't see it now, but...
You won't ever see it because you can never attribute it to a movie, you know?
Yeah.
Unless it's an NFT. Got him. Just kidding. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Grr.
Yeah. I guess I would make like a comic, a movie, a cartoon about whatever I think is the most unjust in the world.
Don't look up.
Don't look up. Oh, he looked down. I was saying a point. I was saying that all the actors are bringing heat, right?
Yeah.
They're bringing something. Whether it's Leo, who's great at acting as this Midwest genius.
Nerd.
Who is scared of pressure or like, what's it called? Being in the public.
Yeah.
But then he becomes in love with it. Very reminiscent of Fauci. Do you see that? Of like a guy that like no one really knows, and then like he gets a little famous, like, oh, I'm on Sesame Street talking about the COVID virus.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then I love Ron Perlman's character, he's basically like a ex-general,
racist
soldier guy. Who's what's the racist line he says? He's like,
I don't remember.
I do this for white people. I love all the white people out there.
Like I love Mexicans too, or something like that.
Yeah. But I love his character, who he's just like the commando that does, the patriot that does things for America.
Yep.
He's shooting at the asteroid as it's coming down and killing them all. Perfect. You'll never take me alive. The Mark Rylance character, I think he's like the show stealer in this.
Who's that?
He's he plays the billionaire that is trying to mine from the incoming asteroid. His like choices as an actor are so nuanced and perfect. For people who don't know, this character, he was previously in Ready Player One.
Yep.
He was the creator of the game. What was the game in the Ready Player One? but he's such a good actor.
Yeah.
And there's like subtle things he does. So like, I didn't notice this until I heard some commentary about it. But he never in the movie looks at someone's eyes.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was hilarious. After I realized it, I was like, oh my god, no wonder he looked so spaced out. And his little like subtle way of talking,
like very whispery.
Yeah. And the thing about people that whisper is like, or that talk very softly, you have to really pay attention to them. What are they saying? What is it? He's great.
Good.
Jonah Hill's character is just so stupid.
I think he was the best. Like, when he put Jennifer Lawrence in the room, it's like, "Do you want to come?" He's like, "Yeah." Locks the door.
Yeah. He's always just a mischievous little
imp.
And I think he's taken his like character straight out of the Trump administration.
Yeah, probably.
The same way Trump was like, I have a sexy daughter. He's like, I have a sexy mom.
Yeah.
So there's so many little things like that. There is one thing I noticed, that the movie starts very real with astronomers finding out about the asteroid and like the Earth's gonna die, whatever.
Yep.
But then as they're going into the real world, it becomes kind of crazy with the politicians that are crazy, the anchors that are crazy, themselves kind of becoming crazy too.
Yep.
But it ends with like the most real thing that would actually happen. A family dinner as the asteroid makes impact. And I like the full circle of that, you know?
Yeah.
And that's sort of a testament to Mckay being able to pull that off, because it's not a straight up comedy. There's some realness to it, you know?
Yep.
Someone told me I like the movie because it doesn't end with the happy ending.
I was kind of wondering, like, no way this can be a good ending. Because we don't know what our good ending is at all, you know? And then they just die.
They could have had a happy ending.
Yeah, but I don't know how it would have worked.
Right. No, yeah. So the movie ends with everyone dying, obviously. Like, literally everyone dying. And that's awesome to see. It's awesome because it doesn't happen. Yeah. We take it for granted, but and I'm sure that pissed people off, like the McDummers over there, like, oh, what? Earth ended? This movie's stupid.
I think like one I saw was that they thought the characters were unlikable, but like that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
Like they turn into like the Dr. Leo's character. He was really never likable, and he only got worse when he got the spotlight. Yeah. Jennifer Lawrence is like a nagging scientist, whatever.
Not nagging.
She is. And
she's more like a know-it-all.
Yeah, but she's not meant to be likable.
Right.
And then the anchors, they're like too nice. He's like, can you stop being so like cordial for like 1 second or whatever he said?
Yeah, the people that are saying, and I think the joke's on them at the end of the day, the people that are saying this movie doesn't work, because it's not about the fact that you're saying this movie doesn't work is actually proving that this movie works.
Mm-hmm.
Because the movie's saying that people don't understand the gravity and like how things happen, and if people are saying, "Oh, this movie's not realistic, the characters aren't real," no, they're extremely real. You're just the person that they're talking about.
I think if you could only truly say it was like an obvious movie if you're as happy as they were at the end of the film. Like you have that, you're like, well, I already knew that. But if you are at that point, you should know that not everyone else is at that point. So you would know that this movie is important. So there's like...
So what's that state you're talking about?
Of like just being with like a couple people you like, being happy. I think like the end line is like, we really had it all, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And they did. Like they just had a family. They had enough food. They had enough water.
Yep.
Like they had everything that you need to be alive and happy. It was just their own minds thinking they didn't have enough. So like if people say like, oh, it was obvious, then you must be as happy as them. But you're not, because you're obviously saying that.
Saying what?
That it's a bad movie because it's so obvious.
Gotcha.
I don't think there's any way you can say this is bad unless you're like from like a filmmaking perspective. But even then, like it checks all the boxes.
Yeah, it does.
It's like at worst mediocre.
Yeah. And that's just people's opinion at that point.
Yeah.
This movie gives me heavy Mel Brooks vibes because of the satire nature of it.
Okay.
Especially like that he chooses to have Ariana Grande and
Kid Cudi,
the Cutter, singing in this film. It's like that's something that we sort of criticize Mel Brooks films because that part doesn't really age well.
Mm-hmm.
And he has it in this film, and it just, I don't know if it doesn't work, but for me it just doesn't work, you know?
There's a whole sequence, like it kind of felt, I don't know if out of place is the best word, but like the Don't Look Up versus the Look Up sort of people, and they're having the song, and it showed like the president saying like don't look up, and people saying look up, look up.
Yeah.
Like the whole sequence is like a little musical,
right?
Like everything.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Like that montage.
Bad. I think it was just different. Like I haven't seen it done before.
Yeah. And again, with that "don't look up" phrase, "don't look up" is the phrase that the asteroid deniers have sloganed.
Yeah.
And the president is now using it as a slogan to run for re-election, and it mimics real life where
don't look at the obvious.
Yeah, don't look at the obvious stuff, and also how the nation is divided with how we talk about things. But a lot of that is
semantics, political shop talk. You know how it is.
Well, if we want to be honest, I don't think, everyone's disagreeing.
You think nobody is?
I think we're disagreeing with robots, with like Russian bot farms, who are just saying like, actually, Bill Cosby's great. And the profile is like a black guy that loves Bill Cosby, but that's actually a bot created by a Russian spy.
I would agree, but the fact that like half people don't get vaccinated shows it's like not bots. We're actually divided.
That is true. But the discourse that's happening on the internet is a lot of bot stuff.
Yeah.
That's dividing. It's like bots for this thing and bots for this thing.
And it's just growing both sides.
Yeah.
It's like the igniter fluid, or like you're just those are the bots.
It's like, oh, don't forget the side. Democrats, Republicans. Yeah. I've been listening to some podcasts, and they're talking about how there's doctors that are saying that the vaccine can be harmful because of the side effects.
Okay.
And the fact that we don't know of all the potential side effects. But they're not necessarily saying don't get the vaccine. They're just saying it's harmful.
Right.
And they get banned from Twitter for saying it could be harmful.
You know what? I don't care if it's harmful, because you know why? I'm saving old people's lives. I'm saving that little Timmy down the street from getting corona and losing his family because he's too poor. That's who I do it for.
But what if little Timmy dies from the vaccine?
Then he's doing it for the other little Timmy.
What?
We're all doing it for other people.
Yes. But what if you don't need to?
Need to what?
To take the vaccine.
If you don't, but who would it need to?
Relatively healthy people.
I mean, from like in a vacuum, they don't. But if relatively healthy people ever are around old people, or
well, the old people need the vaccine.
Yeah.
not the healthy people.
Yeah, but if all young people keep getting corona, it's going to just keep going to the old people too.
No, because they have the vaccine.
What do you mean?
Okay, we have old people and young people, right?
Uh-huh.
We'll simplify it that much.
But the vaccine doesn't prevent them from getting sick at all.
Correct. It just helps them fight it easier.
Yeah.
Right. If the young people that are healthy don't get the vaccine, then it's fine because the old people have the vaccine and they're able to fight it easier. They're almost like at the same playing field as the young people now.
But a lot of the old people aren't even getting the vaccine.
Well, that's the issue.
We just kill old people.
We could do that.
Let's go.
But we don't have to kill them because the COVID vaccine will kill them.
Ow.
No, not the vaccine. But what I'm saying is like that the nation is so divided that we can't even listen to other people. Like we can't even hear doctors say this because we accuse them of like being anti-vaxxers when we're not actually listening to them.
But I don't want to go off like it could, because like I could get hit by a meteor right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I should get a bunker, so that way if the meteor hits me, I'll be okay.
Right.
Like how about I live life? How about them apples?
But then you might as well not take the vaccine.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
If you're saying, I don't want to even worry about what could happen with, like, I could get COVID.
But I know what could happen if I don't take it. I don't know what could happen if I... Wait.
No, yeah, I know.
I know what could happen if I take it. I don't know what could happen if I don't.
But just because you get it doesn't mean you're going to get that debilitating sick that a lot of people are getting.
If I get the vaccine?
If you don't get the vaccine and you get sick, you're saying you know what will happen.
Yes.
What will happen?
I could get sick.
How sick?
A little sick.
A little sick.
Yeah.
But if you take the vaccine, you don't know what could happen. But you know you won't get the vaccine. You won't get COVID that bad.
That could happen.
You could die.
But if I do get the vaccine, I won't die with the original thing, and other people won't die.
They could die too.
If
they take the vaccine.
There's too many variables. I'm losing the track. They could die if they get the vaccine.
Technically, anyone can die if they get the vaccine.
But like we've had so many vaccines. I have like 30 vaccines in me right now. I haven't.
Damn, you're vaxxed up?
Different. I got flu. I got what else is there?
You got the petri dish of
got
vaccine.
Rabies vaccine. Got swine flu.
What if I said, this is really off tangent now, but what if I said you can take the vaccine, or if you feel like you're getting sick, you can take this.
What's this?
Just take it, Ivan.
It looks like poison.
But what if I said you could take the X drug?
Okay.
And it will help you fight off the...
Show me the peer-reviewed research.
Okay.
You monster.
Now I like where you're going with that. But there is research that shows that X does help.
You don't have an X, though.
I do. I just can't say it on this platform because I'll get deballed.
Ashwagandha?
What?
Ashwagandha.
It's actually creatine, Ivan. Okay. Let's drop that. I'm glad I converted you to anti-vax.
No.
All right. There's something else I want to say. McKay works with big actors.
Okay.
Why?
Money.
Why do big actors love him?
It's probably fun. Good director. Good paycheck. Like, movies always come out good.
Yeah, because I don't know. Obviously, I'm not an actor. I'm not in the movie business. But when Christian Bale's like, I want to be in this film. Steve Carell, I want to be in this film.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what they see specifically. Or as an actor, it's like, I like making comedy movies, and I like his movies. I like making comedy movies because they're easy. This screenplay is interesting, you know? Stuff like that. I wonder if it's anything specific, stories they hear. I don't know. I would love to know what it is.
If I were an actor, I would just base it on, like, does he have consistent movies, and is he good to work with?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's Adam Mckay.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that, I guess, yeah. But it's almost like, I guess I'm sort of comparing it to like the ugly kid in high school who always has a pretty girlfriend. Because I'm not saying his movies are bad, but they're not like Oscar level. They're comedies at the same time, you know? So comedies are never really necessarily looked at like critically as the best thing. So I wonder what's that thing he has.
Well, I don't think Christian would have worked with him if he didn't make Big Short. Well, he did work on Big Short.
Yeah.
So what was before Big Short?
Anchorman 2.
But they did have like a lot of high profile actors already.
In those movies? I mean, they're all comedic films, you know?
I mean, they are, but they don't. All of them don't only do comedic movies. I think if he was only doing it with like, not so much anymore, but like Seth Rogen, what's his face, the son of the president.
The son of the president?
In this movie, Don't Look Up.
Oh, Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill. Like a bunch of like only comedic actors.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe, but like they're all legitimate actors in their own way.
They are, yeah.
Like Sacha Baron Cohen, he was legitimate. He is.
Right.
John C. Reilly, he's legitimate. Only Will Ferrell isn't so, but he still has legitimate movies.
I think McKay is probably an extremely cool guy in real life.
Cool.
As in, like, you chat with him and he can make you laugh and he can pitch an idea to you, like, really well.
Probably.
So he probably meets up with, like, he probably met Bale one time and he's like, hey, I love you, man. And, like, cracks him up and he's like, I have this film. I think you'd be great in it.
I think
he's really smart, too. Go ahead, sir.
You just got to be a nice person.
Yeah. Wish it was that easy.
I'm
I'm nice.
There's like directors like they make good movies, but like I heard it sucks to work with that guy. Like Stanley Kubrick. I imagine it was amazing to like make the movie, but during it was probably the worst thing ever.
Yeah. I would think like Ridley Scott's kind of like a jerk.
Nah, I like him.
I do too. But I like him because I feel like he's a jerk.
I think he's good.
Yeah. Oliver Stone.
He's kind of old. Does he even make movies?
Yeah.
Michael Bay. He probably sucks.
Oof. No, Michael Bay's probably fun.
I think it depends, like who you are. Like if like
Leo probably hates Michael Bay.
Yeah. I feel
What
like
if they
Adam Driver probably hates Michael Bay. Like if they met, it's like I hate this guy.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break. I like where McKay's going. I like these comedic films that are topical and not a topical cream, but topical in the narrative it's telling.
Relevant.
And he's trying to also sort of do like some kind of social commentary at the same time. I love where he's going. I want him to keep going this way. Maybe come back to comedic movies full stop one time, like once every 10 years or whatever.
Anchorman 3.
No. Oh,
other guys 2.
Well, him and Will Ferrell don't talk, so
take him out. We don't need them. It's like the other guys. That would be a good one. The other guys, starring Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya.
Those aren't two names that shouldn't be together for
They
the
were
other.
Dune.
Not for the other guys.
Timothy Chalamet.
It should be the other.
And Tom Holland.
It should be the two guys in the other guys who like are always like making fun of
Samuel L. Jackson.
No, the other guys.
I don't want them.
Yeah.
No.
He can make a low budget one.
A HBO show. That would be good.
Nah, it'll be too much.
Okay, shut up. Jeez.
Nothing makes me happy. Nah, shut up. It doesn't work. I say all this to say I think he's given a lot of leeway with like the money, especially because he gets big actors. He has like a very good looking film, so he has a big enough budget. But will he continue to get that?
Yes.
Given that these films aren't necessarily big movies money wise.
Yes.
I don't know how the whole dynamic works since this movie was released on Netflix. I don't know how they manage or like calculate the impact this movie had on the revenue or whatever.
I think the fact that he will always be able to get big name actors will always give him a job.
That's true.
And he can always get it because he's a good person.
Dang, you straight up said he's a good person.
I mean, he has to be.
Does he?
The people we work with, they're all like actors who you would think are good people.
I'm trying to think of a guy that got canceled and who had big. Woody Allen. Woody Allen had Timothy Chalamet in his movie.
People change. Timothy was young. He needed the work. That's how it is.
Dang, you're quick to forgive. Yeah, okay. I like that take. As long as actors want to work with him, big actors, he can make big movies.
Yep.
I do like this idea of like his movies being solely on streaming platforms. Because like I said, I don't think his kind of movies can sell well.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little too it starts with a C, damn it. What's the word when you like think about money?
Cha-ching.
It's too cha-ching of me, but there it is. Ivan, let's pitch some movies. I only have one to pitch, so
I'll make something up, I guess.
DiCaprio
I hate it.
and Chalamet.
As the other guys. That's my movie, actually.
You can't take my two
Too late.
principal actors.
Go ahead.
I want like a competitive movie.
Chess.
That's really meta.
Checkers.
Where like DiCaprio's like the old dog, but then the new dog comes in, Chalamet, and he's trying to take his spot.
As what?
But that's what I don't know. Like it could be any kind of
Acting?
No, that's way too meta.
Okay, then shut up.
Okay, yes, fine. Acting, but like in a small plays that in like
Like a marriage story, sort of like.
yeah.
Okay.
But not like a really obscure like New York studio.
What do you mean? Like the movie is set in there?
No, like sorry. They're like such B-level actors.
Okay.
Like okay, this is what it is. You're giving me the juice. DiCaprio is like the lead actor at this like tiny studio in a Broadway play, right? Like the studio always makes Broadway plays, but their plays that they make are like the very horrible ones that no one goes to watch.
Is it a comedy?
Yes.
On the spot decision.
And then all of a sudden, here comes the new horrible actor, and it's Chalamet. And they're just competing to take the spot as like the resident lead actor in this studio.
And they're both bad?
They're both bad, but they're the best that that tiny shithole studio has.
So they had to act bad, but better than anyone else?
Okay, this is a bad movie. Pitch me your other guys.
Timothy Chalamet and Leo as the other guys. Timothy is the up-and-comer coming in to take on the big dog.
You're like holding in your laughter as you start.
It's a rinky-dink little police department. Everyone sucks, but Leo's the best compared to the rest. But he still does suck.
You just rapped. It's the best compared to the rest.
Whole department sucks, but Leo sucks the least. And then Timothy, he sucks the least a little less than Leo. And that's the movie.
I don't want to see this movie anymore.
And Leo has a handlebar mustache, and so does Timothy.
Wow. You just killed me a little bit.
It's a good movie, right?
Ivan, how rewatchable is this movie?
Medium.
Me too. I put it at a medium. Best scenes. What's one of your favorite scenes, Ivan?
I don't know. There's just like little moments that I like. There wasn't like a whole scene unless I'm forgetting something.
I love the scene where Ron Perlman's character is shooting at the asteroid, basically saying, "You'll never take me alive," type of thing. Classic Americana.
Maybe just then the $10 nuts whole conversation.
The general that steals
the
$5 from each character when he got the items for free. That was a good scene. I think the best scene to me.
The end. Then.
The end scene for you?
Yeah.
When the asteroids make an impact?
Everything's shaking. They're like, we really had it all, didn't we?
Yep. That's great too. The best scene for me is when the astronomers played by Leo and Jennifer Laurie, when they realize that the asteroid's coming, and they get on a call and they're talking to like the NASA head, whatever, and he's basically like, okay, we got to start acting fast, and they're realizing that like this is all happening for reals, and they're freaking out, hyperventilating, and just that feeling of like anxiety, like this can't be real, come on, please, no, I don't want this to happen. Like, that is so true. That is so good.
Yeah.
It is so good because it's that anxiety, knowing that what you're experiencing is happening, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I don't know about that.
And then any scene with our boy, the billionaire.
Okay.
I like when he's explaining how they're going to extract the minerals.
It's very hopeful. I was convinced.
I know. I was like, he actually has a good point.
Yeah.
And then when the whole mission's going bad, and they're like, oh, we lost another one. It's like, can we still make it? He's like, oh yeah.
Like, give me a minute or something like that.
We just lost that. We should be good. It's like, can we lose any more? I don't know. So good. I love that scene. If I were a director, I would hire that guy in any movie. I feel like he can act his pants off anything I ask him to.
Probably.
Let's rate this movie, Evan. It has to be at least 4 tickets out of 5 for you, because you put it in like
asteroids, meteors. 4
meteors out of 5.
Sure.
For you?
Yeah.
Because it was in your top 5 movies of 2021, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number 2?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was. Behind Spider-Man. No Way Home.
I got you in the mouth.
I give this movie a 4 as well. 4 tickets out of 5. It's quite a film. I think what could have made it better is I don't know. I love the music in this, by the way.
I don't remember it.
It's like very jazzy, claustrophobic music.
Oh.
I like it. 4 to 5. Ivan, it's time for a section we'd like to call
Things and Such.
Rest in peace, Bob Saget.
That was random. Not from you. I mean that happened.
Yes. Life is random, Ivan.
I mean, whatever. Yes, rest in peace.
Full House.
Yes.
Did you know he was like a dirty comic?
Yes.
Weird, huh?
A little bit.
Rest in peace to the man, the myth, the legend, Bob Saget.
Funniest home videos.
Funniest home videos. That's probably like the main thing for me.
I mean, I didn't really watch both that much, but I just knew him from that.
As a child of the 90s, I was a fan of both.
Eesh.
Funniest home videos. The ridiculousness before ridiculousness. Those kind of things don't exist anymore, huh?
Ridiculousness.
I know what you're trying to say. It does exist, but who watches it, really?
Everyone.
America's Funny. It's a great show.
Yes.
A24 is coming out with a couple movies. I want to see if you caught any wind of the trailers. X.
Kid Cudi.
Nice. Looks interesting.
I didn't see. I just heard.
Horror. But like almost comedic horror.
Ugh.
And then there's another one that looks really, really interesting. I don't know if I'll like it, but it's called Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's a sci-fi movie starring the girl from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. She's in a lot. I think she's. Oh yeah, she's also in one of your favorite movies, the Marvel movie, Shang-Chi.
Aquafina?
No, she's the aunt
Okay.
of Shang-Chi.
Yes.
When he goes into that mystical land,
Yes.
she's there like, oh, I know the tricks too.
Yes.
She's in this film, and she's like a regular lady, but then she's like in a multiverse, and they're like, we need your help. You're in a multiverse. You have access to 1,000 versions of you. And it's very psychedelic the way it looks like in the trailer, and she knows like kung fu in parts of the universe.
Okay.
She has like powers and stuff like that. But I think it's gonna not be so much like a sci-fi action, but more like a meta commentary about something.
Okay.
You know. But that looks interesting.
Okay.
Time for a section called "What's on the Telly." Ivan, I'm here to do one thing and one thing alone. Convince you to watch Euphoria.
I'll do it one day. You convinced me. Good job.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Euphoria, the season premiere came out this past Sunday. Watched the first episode. It was a doozy. It was a lot. Couple things about Euphoria. One, it's a good show.
Whoa.
Dissect
first.
Going to dissect that a little bit. The plot is kind of like absurd in the sense of like that won't happen. That kind of craziness won't happen to all these kids in high school.
Right.
But it's still very dramatic, and like the things that happen are almost very like Tarantino-esque, where like so much action and so much like drug use and like all of this, like it makes it good.
Okay.
2, it looks amazing. Like the way it's shot, it's very artistic. That's one of the reasons I like it a lot, because they do things differently than like just like Becky does that, Susie says this, Becky gets mad. They use the camera lighting to affect things. And 3, going to my third point, the music is, I think since it's on HBO and it's considered like one of like their number one shows, they have an incredible amount of money to throw at it, because they're using like the greatest music of all time soundtrack.
They make it, or
no, they they just jack whatever they need.
Oh, okay.
And it just fits perfectly.
Any Drake?
Yeah.
Kanye?
I think, yeah.
I won't watch for an I think.
So given all of that, I think it's a crazy show to... I've never seen a show like this where it's so artistic, but it's still trying to do like plot stuff. I really like it.
High-end Degrassi.
Yeah. And now it's like, I think this season's like very like there's a drug game aspect to it.
Game?
Like a drug game as in Lil Durk. Like you're in the drug game.
Okay.
There's that aspect to it. So it's like very high tension situations. You should watch it. And then the acting, Zendaya, I mean,
We should get Tom Holland on it.
there's one of the other actors in the show was dating Zendaya, like I don't know when, but before, and he's extremely tall.
Okay.
And it's funny to see like, oh, I found someone better. It's Tom Holland. This pipsqueak. That's just a little funny doodle that I had noticed. You should watch it, Ivan.
I will.
And then it's like we can start talking about it, just like Succession.
Don't compare it to Succession. Not Succession.
And there's only two. This is the second season. You could catch up easily.
That's why I don't want to watch it.
Ivan, do the thing.
No.
Do the thing.
No.
Plus, they came out with bonus episodes through the pandemic because they couldn't shoot or whatever, since they have such a large cast. And the bonus episodes are just like revolving around like one character. And those are really good for what they are. Just almost like mini movies.
Mm-hmm.
I would highly recommend the show.
I know it's good. I'm gonna watch it.
But you gotta watch it now.
No.
How about you watch the first episode?
And then I don't have to
Yeah.
deal. I'll not watch it to get back at you.
I know, because like if you watch it, it's like the little drug, and then you're never gonna stop.
I can stop whenever I want.
That's what you said about Succession. What makes you want to watch like Succession?
Characters.
Like when it premiered, did you watch Succession?
No, I watched it like season 2 and
Okay. So what did it take?
heard Adam Mckay was making it, and I heard it was good.
Gotcha.
Like, I wasn't like, Succession, I can't wait to watch this new show. I was like, I hope it's good.
McKay's part of this show too, Euphoria.
Ah, shut up.
I know, I'm kidding. Try to see if that worked. Anything you're watching on the telly?
I'm rewatching Mindhunter.
Nice. Third time?
This show, I mean, I watched the first season. Would be the third time. Second season, I haven't rewatched it.
I think I watched it twice each.
But I just finished season 1. But
what's your takeaway?
It's up there. That's a very important show, I think.
Important?
Yes.
Why?
I think it's like we could learn a lot about it today, because the first or whatever episodes, like he was figuring out like, why aren't we just interviewing these people to figure out why psychopaths are how they are?
Right.
And then the other dude's like, because nobody's asking that. So he was kind of like the first person to actually do that. And today, you're like, I don't know what I can relate it to, but like, why aren't we asking questions like
Corona.
Why? Shut up.
Vaccine.
Why? Shut up. Why are we so disconnected with whatever?
Vaccine.
Shut up.
I mean, you're literally giving me the alley-oop.
No.
It's the same thing. And
Not
now
if I think
you're like the old guy in Mindhunter, and I'm like the other guy.
No.
And I'm like, why don't we do this? And you're like, because they're sick people. They're sick. And you shouldn't want to talk to them. And I'm over there talking to them. And then I bring some goodies, and you're like, they said that. You're like, oh,
I don't want to get into this.
they have a point there.
That assumes you're right, and you're not. So shut up.
Okay.
Thanks. That's a good show.
You're right. It's important for people to realize that we are what we are because of our upbringing, partially, at least 50%. Such a disturbing show, though, right?
It's so good.
So good. What kind of person are you if like someone asks you what are your favorite shows? Succession and Mindhunter. You sycophant.
They would think I care about characters. I mean, if you really looked at either of the shows, and
I know, I'm joking.
I wouldn't like the person who would judge me for liking those shows as like my favorites.
What if you came up to a person and you met them at school, your homework assignment, right? You have to tag team on a homework assignment.
Sure.
And for some reason, because you would never do this, but you're like, what's your favorite show?
Okay.
And they're like, Mindhunter and probably Succession.
Wow.
What would you do?
I'd not talk to him anymore.
You're like, I found one.
I think he's a freak. I don't know. Be like, me and you are cut from the same cloth.
Would that make you want to pursue a friendship?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it also depends why they like it. Like I would probably question like, why do you like Mindhunter? It's like, oh, I love all the killing. I love how it looks. I love looking at the killers. They're so cool. Then obviously it's like, if they're like, cause we could learn from people who are hurt and all that. It's like, oh, okay, you're a normal person.
But the person that likes Mindhunter and Succession and thinks everything else is like sort of sucky.
And Mad Men.
Yeah.
Everything else is.
That's the point. I'm saying, what if you find a person that like says like, there's only a couple things I like. Most recently, Mindhunter, Succession, and even further behind that, probably Mad Men.
I'm scared. It's like too. Yeah.
And then you get to know them, and then you look at their phone. One day you have their phone for some reason. You're looking at their YouTube channel, and they're subscribed to your thing, to Peliculas with the Bros, and you're like, yeah. And you look behind you, and they're just smiling at you. Okay, I'm gonna change the situation now. You ask a person homework assignment, right? What's your favorite show? I like Naruto and Demon Slayer.
Be like, anime's something, isn't it?
Would you just cut them off completely right there?
Honestly, probably yes. Because you could like learn everything about a person just by like how they like a show or whatever. Because I saw Demon Slayer and it like looks super good, but the characters are like so horribly bad. Like they're dumb McGee's. So if they're like, oh, I love Demon Slayer, it's the best show I've ever seen. Like, it's not.
The rebuttal to this is obviously like, yes, they're simplistic, but we can still extract from that, you know?
Well, yeah.
And what's your rebuttal against that?
I could extract some gems out of a piece of poop too. Doesn't mean it's a good piece of poop to eat.
I like that delivery. Doesn't mean it's good. Can't even do it. Yeah.
Because, like, obviously, like, I'm not saying Naruto's bad or like anything's bad. Because I could enjoy Demon Slayer for its art. Just for me, I don't care about art that much where I would give up a decent plot or decent characters or decent anything else, you know? Like, I'm not that desperate for good stuff when I could rewatch Mad Men, which is like filled to the poop. It's a poop gem. It's the whole poop is the gem, you know?
Yeah.
Like you poop a solid turquoise diamond.
Yeah. I wonder, because then the same person that likes Demon Slayer and Naruto, they're like, yeah, there's some. I love this character because like they're good at heart, but they're struggling with this part, right?
Then you'll love Mad Men because that's all the characters ever.
Right, but why? When they watch Mad Men, they're just like, I'm just not into it.
Because they're stupid idiot faces, make ugly stupid.
Why? But is it like what is it really? Like they just.
I don't think they're I think they are stupid, Adrian. Like, sometimes it's not stupid, it's more ignorance where they don't know how much better something can be. Like, they watch Naruto and like, that was amazing. And they never grow up from that. And that's it.
Yeah.
But like, you seriously look at Mad Men and like Sopranos or The Wire, like anything like that. It's like, they're ugly, but these are characters and like super relatable. And it's crazy the things they do and how smart they are and how dumb they are. The humanity.
Yeah.
Like, there's like no humanity besides the art in Demon Slayer.
Yeah. There is humanity. It's just very basic.
It's like a toddler's issue. Like, that's what they face. But we're grown. Grow up.
We are grown. Oh, man, that's a dilemma. Let's move on before we offend the rest of our audience. Ivan, it's time for a section we like to call Really Be Bussin'. I'm playing the hell out of Weekend, Don FM.
Yeah, I am too.
It is really good.
Yeah.
Some things I've noticed after a deeper dissection, whatever. He's saying that it's part of a trilogy.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's a cool take. I wish the other ones were.
The little spin-offs or something.
That's a good way to spin it. Trilogy, huh? So he's gonna make another sort of like 80s
album.
Tinged album.
I like that.
I do too. I do want to re-listen to
Gonna?
No, God, no. After Hours.
Okay.
To see like, because I don't think I analyzed it as well as I do this one.
Right. I listened to some of After Hours songs, but none of them were like, I felt like they were old. Like, I couldn't listen to them again. Because, like, you got New Weekend. I don't want to listen to old.
Right.
But maybe later down the line, I'll have the stomach or whatever it takes to actually listen to them. But it was just a lot more sadder. A lot sadder.
Which one was?
After Hours.
Yeah.
Like, hopeless sort of thing.
Yeah.
But not, like, intentionally hopeless. Like, not well-made hopeless. It's still well-made, but not as well-made as Dawn FM.
Gotcha.
Like, he wasn't exactly there. Maybe that was the point. But Dawn FM is just better.
And I love listening to jazz lately. Trying to like understand what makes a great jazz thing great, you know? Because it's so interesting that like jazz was the thing at a point in like the 50s.
Weirdos.
Like 40s, 50s. And it just shows like it's another indicator of there's a couple things I want to say here. Indicator of how simplified we live now. Because the music was so like complex and it was still like the popular music of that time. And now like the popular music is a more simplified version of that.
May I?
Yeah. But don't say jazz sucks.
Never mind. No. I think that's like a lot of what's missing today is the complex, which is kind of what Dawn FM kind of brought back. Not that it's the most complex album ever, but the production on it is definitely like, like everything is placed around each other and there's different sounds going on. Everything's
layered.
Yeah. Whereas like a Gunna, it's like beat, rap, stop, rap.
Young Thug feature.
Yeah. And it's just like, maybe it's because I was just so in the rap realm so long that I didn't notice. But now that I like am like.
Now you escaped.
I was let go from the shackles of that. Is just mediocre rap.
Yeah.
I see like they used to do that all the time. like The Weeknd, where everything's layered, everything's put together well. And it's kind of sucks because like today we can layer so much more easily than they could in the 70s, 60s, 80s with like, you can probably do an algorithm, like type something out and it like layers it perfectly. But they choose to just like be lazy. And it is laziness. Like there's a little work, but like you're picking the beat and you rap on it. But it's not going to stand the test of time.
Yeah.
Like Weeknd's going to be like an artist that is looked at for like not ever, but a good chunk of time. Not that that's really matters, but Gunna's a fart in the wind compared.
That he is. Poor guy.
A whippet in the wind. That would be
how apropos.
That's a good album name. And then he like sings on it. A whippet in the wind. I should. What am I doing here, man?
You're a millionaire. I have a millionaire sitting next to me. He just doesn't know yet.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then, so yeah, there's like the ability to do complex stuff is easier now more than ever, but less people are doing it.
And it was crazy with like, I don't even listen to jazz, but they're so super talented and good at what they do.
Yes.
And it's like a band that does it. And
Yep.
it's like, I don't even know how like the freestyle jazz people do it. But there's like freestyle jazz and it's a whole band doing it and it's super complex. And they put in work to get to that level.
Yes.
Like ungodly, obsessive amount of work. And then Gunna comes in, some rap he's been practicing since he was like 15, and he perfected at 17, and that's all he did. And then he found connections of people who like make good beats, and that's it. Like, I don't think Gunna, Carti have put in the work. I think that's like the next thing. Like people who put in the work.
Well, that's always gonna be the thing that differentiates everyone, and I think
mean,
that's like what makes Drake, as an example, because like, we've said it before. Who's the artist that's gonna go in and perfect the inflection of a line?
Weekend now.
The person that does that more so than not is gonna be the one that succeeds, and I think Drake is like an epitome of that. He's a person that found his voice, because I feel like a lot of people, I would think that it's very hard to find your voice.
Yeah.
And it takes a long time, a lot of work, a lot of searching until you're like, oh, that sounds good. I think if you look at someone like Travis Scott, where like he sounds a lot different from like when he first started. Like Owl Pharaoh, what was it?
Yeah.
To like all the way to Astroworld, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like his voice was untouched back then almost.
Yeah.
And now it's basically all autotune, but that's his voice now, you know? And he put in hours to find that. And same thing with Future. Like Future sounded way different before what he is now. Yeah. Now when you hear him, he's so commanding and like his voice is so signature that you know it's him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that helps a lot for artists. But then there's another level behind that, which is like, okay, you found your voice, but now you actually have to say something interesting.
Yeah.
Where I think that's where like Young Thug, Future are stopped at. Even Drake right now, he stopped at. And now you have to find another level.
But I think that next level will require Drake to put in like a work he hasn't put in before. Not that he didn't put in work before,
right?
But like this is a work he hasn't put in like 10 years, and that work is like finding either like something new in himself, like some new talent, like honing in like some rap skill, like just something new where he is like starting from scratch, but like learning, but putting in like hours.
Yeah. The hard thing is that you have so much money. It's like, do I need to do that?
Yeah, so. But that's what separates the greats from the greats. I think like Kanye doesn't have to do that because he's so like freaking crazy and wild that like
it's easier for him.
He can just innovate just by being himself because he's so free with what he does creatively, whereas other artists have to work to get that free.
Yeah. Dang, she's really bumping it down there.
Good for
her. Yeah. There's another point I was gonna say. Jazz, people changing. Oh, yes. So there's like types of jazz, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like Miles Davis, I was trying to figure out like what makes him great and how he like sort of was part of the bebop generation.
Okay.
And then he revolutionized a new style called like cool jazz.
Cool jazz.
And it's like the idea is like bebop. The idea behind bebop is like the utter perfection, like the utter mastery of an instrument, and make it as complicated as possible. That way you show your technical ability, you know?
Like that.
And then cool jazz was like, yeah, but it's not even a good song anymore. So now we have to like make a good song, but just show like your style.
Like put more of yourself in it than the fact that you can play like a million notes in 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what he revolutionized. Like, nah, I'm gonna take it back. Like, yeah, I can spit a freestyle as like at 100 clips per second.
Right.
But I'm gonna slow it down and really push my message. And that's what he revolutionized. And I was like, damn. So there's always this thing in music where it's like
push and pull.
Something takes something and then changes and then it changes and then it changes and it changes.
So what do we need now? Some sort of mastery, or do we need a back to basics?
Good question. Because if you look at jazz, where it went to was fusion, and like it just got lost. Like it sort of went into like everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, now let's go electronic, and then it sort of disappeared once that happened.
Right.
And then it turned into more different other music. I think you could sort of see the same thing happening now.
Oh, like rap is just every genre now?
Yeah. Like it's just like dispersing.
Pop
now it's
rap,
like almost
genre rap, southern rap,
Yep.
everything rap. But then what happened after? So then we're close to like something brand new then, right?
Yeah. That's not technically hip hop, but it's hip hop inspired.
Like the jazz of 2030.
The hip hop of 80s. I don't know.
We need change.
Yeah. What happened? Ivan. I don't know why we waited this long.
Kanye?
Oh yeah, sure. Kanye's dying, right?
I don't know. Like, never count him out sort of thing, but he's definitely off the deep end.
I mean, when you're working with the game, you know, things are getting pretty bad.
I don't know. It's definitely something new in Kanye. Like, I don't know. Like, he's like unanalyzable because he's so like tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
It could be like the worst thing ever, or this is like he's finally figuring out like maybe I'm just some player rapper and I'm just gonna have fun.
What if he just goes pure gangster rap?
Cause like I heard a snippet and it was like, this is fun music,
Oh, I didn't hear.
but it was fun, like fun,
Uh-huh.
and it's Donda 2 apparently, but he could scrap that whenever he wants.
And make like an Atari
Yeah.
X84 album.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't think it's fair to say like he's dying, but it's also not fair to say like he's living. You know?
Yeah.
It could be either way, or it could be just like a phase.
The video I sent you where Kanye is sort of just hanging out with famous people was very concerning. That's not Kanye at his best, I would say.
But he's had a lot of worsts, and he's bounced back a lot. But he's also getting old. Not like literally, but also literally.
Yeah.
There's just no way to tell.
True.
Wait and see. Wish him the best.
Father, son, house of Gucci.
Disgusting.
Shout out to Lady Gaga. This is the part where I wanted to say we should have done this earlier. Let's rank Adam Mckay's films. So I have some of your ratings here. They might not be up to date. Ready?
Yeah.
Your number 1 Adam McKay film, Other Guys. Number 2, Step Brothers. Number 3, The Big Short. Number 4, Anchorman. Number 5, Talladega Nights. Number 6, Anchorman 2. You're missing Vice here. I think Vice is after Talladega for you. I think that's how I have it here.
I would swap Anchorman and Talladega and then put Vice after Anchorman or below Anchorman.
And then where do you put
Big Short?
Don't Look Up?
Oh. Don't Look Up, I would put below Talladega.
That's accurate. That makes sense. Here I would put it probably below Vice. Looks like it'll be last.
Disgusting.
Yep. I have very lenient grades. But let us know what you think about Don't Look Up if you're listening to this still. We'll be back next week with a new film. I don't know what film we're doing, do you?
There's some movies out there that are decadent.
I do want to do French Dispatch, but I'm not sure if it's going to be out. I can rent it.
If it's digital, I'll do it, but I think there are some movies.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Okay.
We'll figure it out. We'll be back next week with a new Peliculas with the Bros. Please hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. We'll talk back. Rate, review, subscribe. Peace out.
Bye.